You want me to mentor you? You want me to show you how to become a millionaire? Look in my eyes. I'll show you exactly what I did. I'm gonna show you step by step exactly how I became a millionaire, where I started, how I started from zero, how I handled debt. This is definitely not about get rich quick. I don't believe in get rich quick. So I'll see you guys at the webinar, all right? This will be our third fund. It's a $40 million fund. So we're giving people a chance now to say, hey, I want to be involved in big, giant real estate deals that pay money. These are deals that are doing anywhere from 160 to 200% returns. You put $1 million into a deal and you're coming out with $2 to $3 million, but it's going to take 10 years. This is not get rich quick, okay? If you're taking notes, write this down. Don't do the get rich quick, man. Go for the get rich for sure. I don't need to get rich quick. I want to get rich for sure. So I'm going to go from 4,000 units. How many do you think I should go to? I'm going to go to 40,000 units. This is what I'm going to do, and this is why I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to 40,000 units, and I'm going to get the whole world involved in it. You're either going to invest with me, or you're going to actually help me raise these funds. Okay, so when you see me on social media talking about other stuff, anything that you see me talking about, what I'm doing is building an audience so I can allow people to get in a vehicle to where everybody gets rich. Because let me tell you something, if you want to make happy customers for life, make them money. Hey, welcome to Power Players. Today I have with me, if you don't know this dude, come on. Frank Kern.
Dr. Frank Kern.
Now, Frank Kern has been in the e-commerce space, the digital space, the online advertising branding space for, longer than I even knew it existed.
I think that's probably true.
No doubt about it.
99.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I wasn't playing in the space. I was doing door to door.
I remember because I was a car salesman and one of your hench people came and did door to doors.
Where were you selling cars?
Image BMW make in Georgia.
Okay.
And I was a terrible car salesman. Horrible. I still am a terrible salesman.
Did you come to one of my seminars?
They wouldn't pay for it. And I didn't have no damn money.
You were cheap, so you didn't go.
No, I didn't go. And I asked the manager, his name was Scott. I was like, dude, send me this thing. He's like, nah, I ain't gonna send it. It's like $300 or something.
Yeah, sure. $295 or something.
Yeah.
So Frank's in the office. I've known Frank. He's been here before. I think you did a thing with me on Confessions.
I don't know.
Did you do Confessions of an Entrepreneur?
Yes, I did it.
He doesn't remember.
I remember doing it. I'm like, what the hell did I say all that shit?
Yeah. So Frank's here. We're gonna just have I have nothing planned for this dude. First thing I need to ask you though, bro, because I watch your stuff online, right? I watch you, and I watch you how you pitch. Use Facebook most of the time, right?
Yeah.
No. Do you do something that I cannot do? Do you know what it is?
There's so many places we could go with this right now. Yeah.
You smile the whole time that you talk.
Immediately inappropriate.
No, yeah. Well, that's because you're a deviant. So
this is true.
I just want to admire how much when you deliver a communication, you're able to smile not just with your mouth but with your eyes, like the whole time. And I wonder how. I'll always look at you. I'm like, how does he carry that smile the whole time?
Because I can't believe I'm getting to sit there on camera and talk to, and people actually want to listen to it, which amazes me. And I'm like, this is so cool. And I like the people that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I think I do.
I like the people too, but you see, I tend to I can't do it right now because I'm talking about it, but I tend to my mouth droops. And you look like right now, look at Frank Kern. Just give a little pitch real quick. Show somebody your pitch. If you were pitching me, right, pitch Grant Cardone.
First of all, I'm the worst salesperson in the world. I'll make up a thing, right? So if you want to be the worst salesperson in the world ever, here's the 3 things you need to do. Number 1, become extremely
See how he
introverted.
smiles the whole time? That's awesome. Okay, man, so you're known for what, Frank? Like, what are you, a power player?
Turning advertising into profit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I could say I'm known for a lot of stuff because I've been around so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But past 5 years or so, that's really been the mission.
Paid. You're talking about paid advertising.
Paid advertising. Yeah.
Paid advertising on digital, billboards, newspapers.
Well, anything you can test, really, but our space is digital primarily. I've done some direct mail. It's worked pretty good. But for me, digital.
Yeah. So, and when you talk about digital, you know, what do you, so in case the audience just fills in the blanks and maybe with some incorrect things, what is digital to you?
Anything online.
Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely.
Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram. We do okay on Instagram. It's real hard to track metrics accurately, you know, which drives me nuts. Google, YouTube. You know, my first business online where I was actually advertising, I was selling dog training products. I don't think I ever talked to you about that.
No.
Yeah. I was a installer for the Invisible Fence Company. Invisible Fencing of the Coastal Empire. That's who I work for. That's like for, you know, $300
on the West Coast
or whatever. No, in Georgia.
Okay.
And so I trained like several hundred dogs to stay in the yard. And then I was like, hell, man, I'll start selling dog training stuff online. And so I recorded myself doing audios of how to train your dog and sold those for $47, pulled the price point out of the air, and advertised on Google using it. And that was when I got turned on to this whole idea of like, the internet is this thing you can put $1 in and then get $1 plus back out with relative consistency and sometimes pretty quickly. And that was the end.
How much would you make off that?
Oh, dude, I built
remember
that business. Yeah, man. I built that thing up. I think my biggest month was like $100-something grand, which at the time for me was like, boom, you know. I couldn't believe it. Because I didn't have to talk to anybody. So I'm not like you, you know, like you and I are very similar.
Dude, that's your pitch.
Totally
That's your
opposite
pitch.
people.
Don't lie, dude.
No,
That's
you're
your
an
pitch.
extroverted person. You're an extrovert. Like
You're an extrovert right now.
Well,
You're
on
extroverted.
camera.
Well,
I'm like on, you know.
I know, but
in
I'm
real
not
life,
an extroverted person all the time.
No way. Come
I'm
on.
not.
Like,
No, I'm not.
No, you talk to people and stuff. And
You talk to people. You're talking to me right now. Did you talk to Johnny?
I mean, I try not to.
No. See,
No,
but
I
you do this whole thing, and I see all you guys that are super successful in e-commerce.
You people.
Yeah, you people that are really successful in e-commerce. The common thread is Russell Brunson does it. Okay, Lewis House does it. Like all you guys, what's his name? Dean Graziosi does it. Okay, and you do this thing where you're like, I'm a terrible salesman.
Well, Dean is not a terrible salesman.
I don't like talking to people. Yeah. My life was ruined. My mama was a crack addict.
My mom was, in fact, a crack addict. No, she really wasn't.
Yeah.
just in case she's watching. I just want to mess with her.
So you really, I mean, how important is it pulling that string to connect with people that you're not an extrovert, that you're an introvert, and you're a bad salesman?
An extra. So here's how, like, hyper introverted I went to Daniel Amen, who wrote Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and got a SPECT scan, like the images of your brain, and took all the psychological tests and stuff. And I swear to God, this is true. I scored the lowest you can possibly score on sociability. And so my brain has this filter where every person that I see, my brain says that person's angry. But even though they're not, and he was like, dude, see, like you literally, your brain is telling you everyone's mad at you. And I'm like, well, that's because they're all trying to kill me. But and then the prefrontal cortex thingy, I can't remember, the part of the brain, the fight or flight thing for me is always at 10. Just all the time.
Always what?
At 10. So like
a 10?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. That reactive.
To fight or flight?
Mainly it's aggression. It really is.
I like that.
Yeah, but
I think that's a good. I think that's.
So I really am that's why I don't go to conferences and stuff. That's why I don't hang out. You know?
Because you're worried about this thing.
No, because I'm an introvert, dude. I like to be in my little cave, you know, and it's easy to be on camera and make videos. It's just a couple of dudes here in this room.
Yeah, so that makes sense. You live in Rancho Santa Fe.
Now you've told everybody. Great. I don't really.
What's your address there?
Yeah, it's 111.
He drives a big Rolls Royce. Did you buy the big one now? Are you in the Phantom?
I mean, my company bought it. I don't.
Yeah, I understand, but did you buy it or lease it?
I leased it. I ain't gonna
Okay, good. Did you buy a Phantom? You leased a Phantom.
Yeah.
So here's a contradiction.
It's not for me.
You got the curtains in the back?
Of course.
Yeah. So here's Frank Kern, because I call people out.
Why did I come?
I'm an introvert. Let me buy a Phantom. What color is it?
White.
Yeah. Let me buy a white Phantom. What's the interior?
White.
Let me buy a white on white Phantom.
Yeah. They make other colors?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to that's awesome. That's a $600,000 car.
Dude, oh my God, is it an amazing car?
Yeah. Do you have a driver?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we bought that. I mean, because it's cool.
Yeah.
But we pick our clients up in it.
Yeah.
So we've got two of them. I got the Dawn and the Phantom, and we have these little groups, like private client groups, and we make it a point to pick them up, bring them to our office, and give them that experience. So in reality, we really don't mess around with it because we don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it just sits in the garage, and then we'll have these clients. I'm like, oh my God, that car's so cool. Totally need to ride it.
I'd love to be picked up in a Phantom one day.
That's exactly right.
You know, maybe I'll fly into San Diego and you can come pick me up.
I'll totally come get you in a Phantom. I'll even drive. I'll be the driver.
Dude, so let's just do a little experiment. Okay. What am I doing wrong? Because you're the expert. What am I doing wrong? When you see me running ads, what are we doing wrong here? Because I know we're making a bunch of mistakes.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm on your list. And
the email list.
Yeah, I'm on the list, and it doesn't appear to be. So the reason
my copy's terrible, right?
No, it's gotten a lot better, actually, significantly better. There's not a lot of storytelling. There's not a lot of bonding, but you do it so much on camera that I don't think it really matters.
Oh,
you know
interesting.
what I mean?
Interesting.
And this is a totally different conversation than when you and I spoke, I think, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because email is pretty much dead. You know, so it really doesn't matter. Like, I would email like 4 times more than you're emailing now.
You would?
Yeah.
You would email 4 times more?
Yeah, well, unless I'm on a segment of the list that's not getting hit a lot. So I might be on like the old, don't mess with these guys that much segment.
Add Frank to the list.
Yeah, add me to the good one, you know. And
so you're saying, because 2 years ago you were like, Grant, you need to spend more money on copywriters. You gave me the names of some guys that like, you need to spend $100,000 having them write copy for you. Yep. I never did that, by the way. I just couldn't, like, I couldn't think with it.
I know, it's great.
And now you're telling me, hey, email's pretty much dead, even though we really rely on that list a lot here.
Well, I would bet though, if we like got all crazy and really measured effectively where the money's coming from, it's probably your ads, like direct into
my Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, likely so. Yeah. So I would pick up the pace on that a lot because email is just dying.
You would tell me to spend more money in advertising.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. Like what at what point do I like enough is enough or
Never.
I can't?
Never. Because at what point would you buy, like, how, you know, when would you have too many apartment complexes that are yielding you a positive return?
No.
So, like, we were talking earlier, and I don't believe this. I know this to be empirically true. It doesn't matter what business we're in, right? Like, you're in the sales training business, or so it would look on the surface. You know, I'm in the digital agency business. All that's BS. We're in the business of multiplying capital, period, right? So any entrepreneur, doesn't matter what business you got. A used car guy, same thing.
Yeah.
Multiplies capital by buying a car at price A.
Network marketing person.
Multiplying capital.
Multiplying
buys the inventory,
capital.
You know, or whatever the hell you do in MLM, goes out, multiplies that initial investment by selling it at a profit.
Yeah.
So
household, mom and dad, you know, husband and wife, they have an extra $2,000 left over. You're saying multiply the capital. Don't sit on the $2,000. Get it to be 6.
Guys, I don't know what to do with those guys that don't have a business.
Well,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But in a business environment, that's all we're doing is multiplying capital. So when you're advertising, if done properly, and that's important, right? Like I don't want to make the distinction. Just start throwing money arbitrarily at advertising. But you know what you're doing with the ads. You guys are getting a positive return on it. So why would we ever stop doing that? Like even if the return dwindles down to 2%, or something over a 30-day period. Who cares?
When you say like so when you say, let's say we spent $2,000 in advertising, just so everybody can think with the number.
Right.
I'm spending $500 a week, let's say. You're saying if I get $500 back a week, then I should keep doing that.
Well, you should bump it up because then you should be selling more stuff to those customers you got, you know, that got you your $500 back. And think long term. I mean, like,
so what return am I looking for then?
Any.
One-on-one's not a return though. Like I spent $500, I got my $500 back.
It is in the short term, right? So that's another thing that that's like hugely distinctive, I think, which is, and you do it like in real estate all the time. So I think you're setting me up to answer this question perfectly.
No.
No, I think you're doing me a favor. You know,
okay.
So it's like last thing that anyone that's really doing it in business is going to think of. Well, I spent $5,000 this month. I got to make my $5,000 back, or I got to make $6,000 back. You're thinking, like, all right, what's this going to yield later. So in an environment where you're spending $500 a day, you're getting your $500 a day back. That business owner would logically, we would hope, right, have other systems in place to further deepen that relationship with their customers,
Second
sell
sale.
them more stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all of that is pure net. So every other sale that comes, let's say he makes another $500 over the course of 30 days off that initial ad spend, that's 100% return. Which
right.
we ain't gonna get that in any other.
So, Frank, because when I first got introduced to you, okay, when I started seeing you pop up all over the place, when I started looking, you had already been there for years. You had been there probably 9 or 10 years. And then I was just starting to discover, hey, I can only knock on so many doors. I can only make so many phone calls. And 2008 hit, and I discovered the internet. I'm like, I run into you, and I'm like, God, I haven't spent any money in advertising. Literally, for 25 years, I spent no money in advertising. Everything was door to door. Everything was energy. It was effort.
Yeah.
So what you did was, and maybe it's because you're these other things that you talk about yourself.
Dude, I can tell. I know
Fear-based.
exactly when I made the decision to get online. It's because I was thrown out of a restaurant I had cold called as a door-to-door credit card machine salesman. And so I was like, I don't want to go through that again ever.
Yeah.
I don't want some guy yelling at me in front of people. Like, to hell with that. I would rather have a way to have people come to me and say, would you please let me be your customer?
Yeah, and you talk about this a lot, about attracting people rather than going after people. What does that mean exactly?
In reality, we're still going after them. We just don't call them or whatever. So ads, exactly like what you're doing, right? Like, you put out a lot of value deliberately to attract the right person. Someone watches that, they're like, I like this dude. And then later, you'll show them an ad that says, hey, I got this stuff if you want it.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they buy it versus door knocking, or cold calling or whatever. And I think when you frame that situation up where they're the ones pursuing you, you have the power. You're no longer perceived as just another insert job title here, just another salesman, just another sales trainer guy, whatever. And your life is better because you're not having doors slammed in your face. And some people like it, Some people thrive in that. I'm not one of them. I admire the ones who do, though. It's very impressive.
So when I brought you back to my call center back there, okay, because really what I have going on here is the e-commerce thing. I got the call center. We're still knocking on doors. Jared and another guy were out in Tampa yesterday knocking on doors. When I brought you back there today and you saw those guys all stand up, Frank Kern, like is that like, oh my God, he's actually got a bunch of these guys doing this?
No, not at all.
You like it?
Oh, yes, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in there, I'd constantly, so they've got this thing with like a big board of stats.
It's a boiler room.
Yeah, I would be staring at the stats all day.
You would?
Yeah, because I love that. Like, that's my adrenaline. But personally, I would not want to be making the calls. I would rather have people call me.
Yeah.
And largely pre-closed.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is better. And it sounds like, and I don't want to make it sound easier than it is because it's hard, but for a person with my personality traits, it's a lot easier to have that situation.
See, he's doing it again.
Well, I mean,
he's
everyone's
doing
got
it
their
again.
personal preference.
Look, and he keeps smiling the whole time he does it. Guys, this is a master right here. This is why I have Frank Kern here. He is a master at presentations, at storytelling. Look, I don't know.
Come on.
Okay, what is that called? What is that called when you do that to yourself?
No idea.
What's the word? It's humility, but it's also something
self-depreciation.
Self-depreciation.
Yeah. That's right.
You
I'm the greatest that's ever lived.
It's self-depreciation.
Yeah,
No. But you see, me and you do it completely different, right?
Yeah.
I really push at people, get it, buy it, it's ending.
Yeah.
You need this. Like, how would you take that pitch and change it?
Because I wouldn't just work it. I wouldn't mess with your pitch.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't.
But how would you do it? How would you do it? Because a lot of people don't like that about me. They're not going to say they don't like Frank. Huh?
Can I swear?
Do whatever you want.
Those people, if they don't like you, they can change the damn channel.
Yeah.
That's why God made other channels and stuff. So
I know, but I actually think what you do is easier to learn than what I do.
Maybe for the right, I mean, to me, like, these two words have become very magical to me, which are personal preference. And I think every man and woman has a personal preference in how they want and how they really can operate. So if that's your natural state, then dude, hammer it. I'd love to be able to do something. I would close like a mother if I had that. Really.
See, but I think like the thing you talked about, the fear. I don't know if it's fear for you or anger or whatever, but like for me, like, I don't know if it's fear. I'm scared I'm not going to hit my targets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still today, like when I was 26 years old.
So it never goes away then. With all
Dude,
the money, I'm thinking I'll get as rich as Grant. I'll stop worrying about it.
No, man. I am
You've
still
ruined my illusion.
I am target driven.
No, I'm just not even going to try.
I'm target driven. Like I remember when I was brought up in the car business, and it was like I had to be the top of the board.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get that extra car out.
Yeah.
Right. And if it
Why'd
meant,
you let them go? Why didn't you turn them over?
dude, if you let somebody go,
I know,
I would
dude.
go get them. I would steal the deal from people. I'm going to get the deal. So I am extremely target driven. And so when I'm doing a pitch, like we're doing this webinar Tuesday night,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all I can think about is those numbers. Like, can I get our target number?
Oh, that's great.
Or the 10X Growth Conference, you know, like I got to have 35,000 people there and I got to fill up every seat. And I know that I probably got to sell 40,000 seats to get every seat filled. Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, how do you calmly go about it? Because you seem calm about.
Oh, I'm calm in the moment, you know.
But you have a target when you're running an ad, you're doing a pitch. You have a target. So how do you like not? How do you stay so cool, dude? And I'm staying aggressive.
I don't care if they buy right then.
Uh-huh.
So I'm more. So for me in a webinar environment, for example, my money's made after the webinar. So my job on that webinar is to sell as best I can, but to make sure those people had such a great experience on that webinar.
Yeah.
That then in the follow-up sequence they're going to buy, because I'm no good at swimming upstream, right? And if we look at like human psychology, I don't really know much about it, you know, but like, it's not like I went to school for
He did it again,
shit,
dude.
You know what I mean? So I'm
what?
I'm going to pull
Ding,
some
ding,
things
ding.
out of my ass about human psychology, which I believe to be true.
Yeah.
Number one, most people don't make impulsive decisions. Number two, well, that's not
Most
true.
people don't
They
make.
don't make impulsive buying decisions. They do make a lot of impulsive
Yeah,
decisions,
yeah.
myself included. Number two, most people don't like being sold. You know, and so if we know this to be true, and number three, most people I don't want to think about stuff. Weigh their options.
I don't want to.
They do want to.
Oh,
Most
they
people
do want to think.
want to, you know.
They're uncertain.
Yeah, so if we were to take a room of 100 people,
Yeah.
you know, maybe if we were exceptionally good at closing, I don't know, you probably close like 20% of them. I might get like 3.
See, he did it again.
Yeah.
I need a
You're
little
very good at
board.
closing.
In this, you need to be ding. Every time you hear a ding, that's him doing the self-deprecating thing.
Well, but it's a true statement, though.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not just like going, I'm going to play the I'm not a closing guy.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking at is, okay, if I know this to be true,
Right.
and if I know it's going to take Herculean effort to go from 3% to that 20% or whatever, and if I know that the stream is going this way, the stream of human psychology,
I got.
why don't I just go with that stream?
You're going with that
then
97%.
Make that 97% who's not going to buy right now, make them real happy, make them feel really safe, give them a tremendous amount of value, and then follow up with them. But I follow up with them real hard. And I do it in video, and I do it in email, and I do it in copy. And so all the stuff you're doing right then in the moment, I just do a little bit later.
Yeah.
And so it's really the
and you
same
do a
thing.
really good job at, like, hey, I noticed you signed up for, like, your copy on the follow-up.
Yeah.
Now
All
you're
my
going back
money's
to
in the follow-up.
you're going back to email though,
Right. Yeah.
So email is not dead on that list.
In that particular scenario where we had a webinar attendee in that 7-day window or so after they attended, no, it's not dead. But it is less effective than it was last time we spoke. And if we go another couple years, it's going to be like even less effective.
Yeah.
You know, so it's we got to find other things to do, which we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, with ads.
But at the end of the day, it's still about storytelling.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And branding. Can you talk about, like, I've had this discussion before with other guys, like, what is the difference between branding and actual advertising?
I don't think there is one. I think there's branding for the sake of getting your name out there, and then there's direct response. And those both fall under the umbrella of advertising. And so typically you'll have a guy like most of the folks you would meet, they're like, oh, branding is stupid. Direct response is the greatest thing ever. And in some cases it's true, because in direct response you can stick $1 in and you can track to the penny what that dollar produces.
And just so I understand, when you say direct response, what do you mean exactly?
A way in which you're asking the reader or the viewer to respond directly to an ad that can be tracked. You know, so you can say, all right, go here to register for this. That is a direct response. Where Dove, you know, it says Dove for all body types. Or whatever the ad is. That's not really telling you to do anything. It's just saying Dove. So I think now I think the two have really married, or I think you can marry those two practices now for like the ultimate methodology of advertising, which we couldn't have historically done until now because it's so
cost prohibitive, right?
Yeah, but now
TV,
it's so
it was just
cheap.
TV and
Yeah, it's so unbelievably cheap. So it's working really, really well, and you're doing it anyway. I just, you know, I don't think you sat down, or maybe you did, and mapped it out as a strategy. But right now, you can put out a tremendous amount of value-based content as an advertisement, right? You know, so we typically, ours are like 6 to 8 minutes long. It's just going to say, all right, I'm going to show this audience how to do something cool, tell them a cool story, build that relationship with them. You can understand who watched that, thanks to retargeting on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and then you show them a pitch for the thing. So
hey, I noticed you tuned into my Baba.
Well, I don't even address that. You know, I build a relationship and say, hey, you know, if you're looking at how to do this, then you might want to check this thing out. It's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah. And we now like, and so that.
So the retargeting, that's like me looking at. I looked at I don't know, Nike shoes yesterday and Under Armour, whatever, and then bang, they don't tell me yesterday. Hey, I noticed yesterday you looked at this.
Right.
They just pop up and say.
Yeah. Here you go. But in the circumstance I'm talking about, it's largely video based. You know, so on Facebook, for example, I'll give you some stats. This is cool. Compare this to TV, by the way. You ever buy TV? You ever run ads on TV?
No. Well, do we? No.
It's horribly expensive.
Yeah.
All right. So this is 2-week-old data. I don't have the current data in front of me. So our average Goodwill video, that's what I call them. And the strategy I'm talking about is something I named intent-based branding because it's branding, but there's a deliberate reason you're doing it. Like there's a follow-up coming on. So intent-based branding works like this. Phase 1.
10-based?
Intent.
Yeah.
Intent-based branding. So phase 1, you are putting out very carefully crafted, usable content built to be magnetic to a specific audience, aka who you want. And you run those as ads on social, like or on Facebook or YouTube. Then people watch them, and then you retarget those guys with offers to stuff that's relevant to the very thing you just gave them. So 2 weeks ago, it cost us 88 cents to get a complete stranger to consume one of our videos, which on average is 8 minutes and 9 seconds. 88 cents. If you compare that to television, I mean, it's insane. So I ran TV in the 90s, you know, right before I went into the car business. And it was 10 grand, 5 grand, I can't remember. Let's say 5 grand for 10 30-second spots. Arbitrarily shown to random people in Macon, Georgia on WMAZ. Lost all of my $5,000. You know, I just paid 88 cents to get someone to watch 8 minutes, which is the equivalent of 16 30-second spots. Yeah.
So what did you talk about in that 8 minutes? Just so I understand.
Oh, in that case, specifically how to do stuff like this. You know, how to market and how to advertise.
So the leader was what? So that I would punch on it. What was the subject line or the title? Do you
Typically
remember?
Things like the future of advertising might be one. Here's exactly what to do and say might be another one. And then in those videos, I'm teaching people stuff. You know?
And then you open with, hey, the future of advertising is blah, blah, blah. Hey, you might know me. My name's Frank Kern. I don't know how to sell. I'm an introvert.
I can't. Don't buy anything from me. Whatever you do, don't buy it. I want to make someone buy it more.
So we're like, are you, when you're crafting that message and telling that story? Because that's really, this is selfish for me. Like I want to know how Frank tells that story.
Oh, I can just kind of do it for you.
Yeah, do it for me.
Well, no, I'm not going to tell the story. I can just come down to your office and just show you because you're my friend.
Yeah.
But there's a process. All right. So I want to get some water. Is that cool?
Sure.
All right. I
do whatever you want.
Early.
You're the power player.
I was totally, dude. I was like, I don't want to go do this interview, man. I'm tired.
What?
Yeah. So last night I'm like, Jerry, can we do it later? Doesn't respond. I'm like, I'm gonna try to sleep in. Wake up at 7:30.
You can't cancel on me twice. You want to talk about the cancel?
What are you talking about?
Okay.
I didn't cancel on you.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, man, I'll take you out.
Okay.
I don't know if I can though. You're in pretty good shape.
That anger thing's happening
you're
now.
in good shape though.
I'm not attacking you, man.
Yeah. All right.
Tell your
all right,
cerebral.
So there's a framework for it.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
Before you ever make anything, you want to answer these 6 questions. Number 1, what are you ultimately going to be selling? Right. So this is for the advertiser. Right. So
what am I going to sell?
Yeah. What is the ultimate goal of the campaign? So you look at the whole thing as a campaign. Right. So what's the ultimate thing you're going to sell? Thing number 1. Thing number 2, who do you want as your customer? Kind of basic, Thing number 3 is, what does that customer want? Like, what are their biggest desires? That is relevant to the thing we're selling, of course, right? The next question is, what are their frustrations? What are they mad about within relation to the thing you're selling? Right? The next one is very, very important, is what are the emotions that are associated with those desires or those frustrations, right? So we get all that, and going through it real fast right now. And then the final question, and I really want to make sure I put this in the right context, is what must they believe to be true in order to want to do business with you? So before anyone takes this footage and edits it out like we're trying to make it look like we're evil hench people or something, I'm not by any means suggesting what do we have to say. It's what must we demonstrate to be true in order for them to want to do business with you. So once we got all that stuff, it's like raw material, right, for building a sculpture or something. So from that raw material, then the campaign is created. And it's usually, the content videos are going to follow this framework. Number 1 is you're going to seed. And seeding is where you say who you are and what you do. It's like 10 seconds, right? So if I were doing it, I might say, hi, my name is Frank Kern. I've been working with online entrepreneurs since 1999 to help them grow their business. The end, right? Second step is going to be the introduction to the problem or the opportunity. Opportunity being the thing that they want, right? So in that case, I might say something like...
I love this, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you. In that case, I might say something like, so many clients come to our agency because they're finding that their advertising that's always worked really, really well is being less effective. They're finding that things like email are less effective for them, and now I'm going into phase 3. And really, that causes them to feel...
What is phase 3?
Oh, sorry. Get the emotions behind it. Yeah. So exacerbate those emotions, right? So I might say something like, and that really causes them to be very, very stressed out because the stuff that they built their business on is now starting to erode, and it makes them feel very uncertain about the future, and it makes people nervous, and it's totally understandable. All right, so I've kind of done
really hitting on emotions on number 3.
Yeah, but not like to be a dick about it or anything, but just like being like, what you're really wanting to show is that you're relatable and very empathetic to them. So by no means am I suggesting like we're trying to, I don't know,
manipulate.
Yeah.
No, but I mean they're
cool.
Yeah, they're real emotions. Though. I mean they're real. He's spending money in advertising. He's not getting a return on it.
Yeah, and so you want this person to think, oh, this guy
understands.
is exactly talking to me. So then what you want to do is you want to make a point.
4, is it, we on 4 now?
I think we're on 4, yeah.
Okay.
And so you want to make the point, So I might say something like, and if you're experiencing this, one of the things that is really working well right now is a concept called intent-based branding, where instead of trying to get someone's email address and then in exchange for a free video or whatever, and then emailing them 900 times and hoping the video works, you try a new strategy instead where you run free content directly in front of them in the form of advertising, build the relationship, and then try to sell them. So that's the point. Next is going to be a story that illustrates that point, right? So I might say, I discovered this, strangely enough, by blah, 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 and this is what happened. Couldn't believe it, been doing it ever since. Next step is going to be something.
Couldn't believe it. Yeah, you got that thing.
It's so true.
You should,
really
couldn't believe it in the dictionary should have your name your face next to it.
I'll be damned. Yeah.
I was shocked.
Dude, I was shocked though. Anytime anything works, I'm like, I can't believe that worked. Holy
Yeah.
So the next piece, after you've told the story, is an actionable thing they can really use. So next time you start a campaign, try this. Step 1, 2, 3, like something really simple that they can use.
I'm not on 6 yet.
Yeah, the final step I think is number number next.
Yeah. When do I ask for them to do something with me?
You don't yet. So this is phase 1 of this campaign. So the final step is to close, and this is where it becomes like, physically painful for most online direct response guys, because they're used to just get the action. So you close and you say something along the lines of, well, I hope you like watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you, and if you know anybody who might find it valuable, I hope you share it with them. Till then, keep up the good work, and I'll see you soon. So what you've done now is you have demonstrated your empathy, that you understand what this person's going through. You have giving them some good advice that actually
Man,
helps them.
I'm doing so many things wrong.
But you do it all the time. You aren't consciously doing it. Because I watch your stuff, and you're always doing this. You just don't run it as a concentrated ad campaign.
Yeah.
So usually what we'll do
as a mission, you're doing it. You're running it as a strategy that
very, very strategic. Yeah. So we'll create like 5 or 6 videos like this, and they're all going to make similar points, tell similar stories that are all moving that prospect towards his ultimate goal, right? Like helping this guy get some of the results that we can promise him in advance. And then we're looking, Facebook's really looking, or YouTube, or whichever platform we're using, and they're now building a retargeting audience of people who've consumed X% of that content, and then we start showing them offers, and all I have is this Kern branding. So I say, hey, those videos you've been watching, that's something called intent-based branding, and you know that it works because you're watching this one right now.
Wow,
right?
nice.
And I teach how to do it in my videos as well. And then, if you like my company to do it for you, go to kernbranding.com and read the little letter there. If you like what you see, then maybe we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I need to figure out how to do this.
Dude, I'll show you how to do the whole thing.
So like, I'm doing a show every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know you wouldn't work that hard.
I work like a freaking pack.
No, you don't work that hard. Come on, man.
All right.
You might work like a pack of people. Be self-deprecating right now. Okay. You're right, Grant. I don't work that hard.
Dude,
I don't like to work.
Freaking pack mule, and I like it. And I outworked him. I did, and no take backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was only one day, but I'm still clinging to that one day. Because I was down here, I stayed later. You had to go. You were tired. I'm like, I'd like to document this.
Yeah,
right now.
you're right. You did that day.
That day. That's the only day that will ever matter.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean anything else that happens between.
This is a surfer guy, dude. He lives in California. He likes the palm tree swaying in the nice, comfortable temperature. He was in Miami for 1 hour and wanted to leave town.
It was so hot, dude. There were so many strangers. They were everywhere. Strangers.
Yeah. Well, they are strangers.
Yeah,
here. A lot of people from around the world here.
Yeah, strangers.
Okay, talk to me about something you were talking to my office about protecting yourself against not frivolous claims against against the company, like something that you're really aware of because of you being in the space so long and past experiences about how people need to protect themselves in the internet space today.
Well, in every advertising space. So here's the thing that, like, if you pay attention to Grant or me or any internet people, you're going to see, or really in general, you're going to see a lot of ads that are making a lot of claims. And even if the claims are true, you still have to be very careful in making the claims. Like some of the dudes you've had on here, I'm like, oh my God, man, you got to clean it up a little bit,
Me or them?
Them,
yeah,
sure, but not what they're saying on the show, just in general, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you go and you've had 20 clients that have become millionaires, let's say, and I'm just saying like arbitrarily.
Yeah.
If you have an ad that says, I turned 20 clients into millionaires, and I'm going to show you how I did it.
Even if it was true and can be documented.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's assume let's assume you turned 100 clients into millionaires, and you only said 20.
Yeah, right.
That is what is called an unsubstantiated income claim. So unsubstantiate means, I think, and again, I'm not an attorney, right? So, well, dude, the last thing we wanted to be doing is giving legal advice, without disclaiming that. But unsubstantiated means that it is not true for every single person who buys the stuff.
It doesn't mean that you can't substantiate it if given the chance.
Oh no, so that's a really, really important distinction. So in order for that claim to be substantiated, you would have to show that every single person who has ever bought the thing gets that result. Otherwise, you don't make the claim of I created 20 millionaires and I'm going to show you how to do it, even though you're clearly not saying I'm going to turn you into a millionaire.
So how would you say that?
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah.
No, but how would you tell the story, hey, I made these 5 people millionaires, without saying that? How do I then tell that story legally and without?
So understanding, Frank ain't no lawyer.
Yeah, I know,
right?
I know
Yeah,
that.
right.
I know
So
that. Everybody knows Frank's not a lawyer.
Not
Okay?
really. Well, I joke around and say, my name is Dr. Frank Kern, attorney at law, chief engineer at NASA, retired. Just to see how hypey I could be.
Right.
I'm kidding with that. You might say something like, I worked with these people, they experience this, you need to understand without question that the
It's not normal.
overwhelming majority of people who buy my stuff don't get those types of results or don't get any results at all. And all business is very difficult. It all entails risk. Your results are probably going to be far different. The only reason I'm telling you about these people, but you know what? It doesn't hurt your sales. You know what I mean? It's like there's no need to be, because no one believes that shit.
Yeah,
I
know.
like,
I'm just
be
thinking,
a millionaire if I buy this guy's stuff.
I'm just thinking about the time it takes to tell that part of the story. Like, why am I spending time? You know,
Well,
Jared came to me. So, but like when I tell this story, hey, Jared came here. He was in debt, broke, could barely make a phone call. Jared's worth $5 or $6 million today. So whether
I didn't sell him a product though. So his story is irrelevant. So this is within the, I think, but this is within the context of like we're selling a course.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
You can't say Jared bought the course and he became a millionaire without saying, but hey, look, Jared's like one of 20,000 people that have bought this course.
Yeah.
The other 19,999 people did not make any money whatsoever.
So in that case with Jared, I would just say, yeah, Jared read the Millionaire booklet. Jared works with me every day. Jared is on Cardone University. But Jared had the benefits of me being up in his ass every day too, saying, this is what we're doing. Like, I can't give that to every person out there. Is that how you're saying I would?
I think that's a pretty good start. Yeah. But I think the best
But
is...
still hire Ellen.
Still what?
Still hire Ellen.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Ellen's a recommendation.
Forever. Yeah. Venable.com.
And he told me, just so you guys know, like he told me, he's like, look, if you're advertising on the internet, you need to go, what does she do exactly?
She's a compliance attorney. Yeah.
You need to do your compliance, your legal compliance, just almost as a condom. Not that you're trying to do anything wrong, not that you're going to do anything wrong, that you can defend yourself.
You can do wrong without knowing. I'll tell you a huge one. It was a weird direction we're going, but this is like such a huge deal that nobody knows. Because it's not like, they make a law and then they mail you this manual on how to comply with the damn law. Right. You just going to have to figure it out. Yeah. So there's this law called Restore Online Shoppers Confidence Act. It's called ROSCA, but that's what ROSCA stands for. And it states that if you sell anything that's monthly, also known as negative option continuity, that means it's
negative option
continuity. The fancy way of saying thing of the month club. Right, so if I give you $19 a month, and this until I cancel.
The Mentor box, $7. Exactly. Anything recurring.
Yeah, anything recurring like that. The law clearly states that in order to be compliant and to do that legally, prior to getting the credit card, the buyer must check an unchecked box that is within clear vicinity of the order form that says, "I understand I'm about to get this thing for $7 a month, and I can cancel here." If you ain't got that box, you're breaking the law. And dude, like everybody's breaking the law.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, it's
do we do any kind of monthly stuff? I don't think I do anything recurring. Johnny wouldn't know.
I think I just had a heart attack.
What? Because I'm like, do I do any?
Yeah.
I don't think I do. I mean, I don't think we do a monthly. We do it with companies, but there's a contract says, hey, dude, you're making 36 payments here.
Oh, that's not negative option.
The negative option is you can buy this deal, and then by the way, and then the agreement is, and you're going to be
billed,
but you don't really know that.
Well, no, you know it, but even if you
pills, a lot of pill companies, nutrition companies, the network marketing companies will have but they know you're doing a monthly delivery, right?
But you still have to it's called express consent. So even if you state it, like huge letters, they still got to check the box.
Yeah, I got it.
If they ain't checked the box,
got it.
It ain't.
And I think that's fair, man. Like I want to know, dude. I don't want, like when you do that to me, when I get jammed like that, I just want to like revolt on everything.
Yeah, you mad? You're like, why are you charging me every month without?
Now I don't want to give anybody anything. It'd have been, and I think this is where you're coming from. You're not going to affect your sales negatively by telling a guy, look, I can't make everybody a millionaire.
No, God no. People aren't stupid, and if they are, why would you want them?
You don't want them as business. Yeah. So this is what we do. That's an interesting thing you're saying, because what we do here on like refunds, I tell Sherry all the time, Sherry, just 100% refund policy.
Yeah.
Give them all their money back.
Refund first, ask questions never.
Yeah, exactly. and add to that, take that name, put them on a blacklist, and don't ever take their money again.
Yeah, leave them be.
Like, I don't want their money. I don't want to transact with them again. Next time I come out with my next great book, they can't buy it.
No book for you.
No, I'm serious. Do you think that that's a good policy?
Yeah, why not? You're just protecting your own interests.
Because they're going to be a problem. People that want their money back are typically problems.
Yeah.
Most of it is not actually substantiated.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work to go through to remove them and everything. But the most important
dude,
thing
it's
is to
easy.
make
It's
sure
like,
you,
don't do business with this person.
Yeah.
Like
But
they're not
never
going to
share that data.
No, I want to share it with all my competitors.
Don't do it.
Here.
No,
What?
never.
With the blacklist?
Yeah, never share that.
Best
data.
campaign you've ever done. Most successful ad campaign you've ever done. And the one that everyone will benefit from.
It's the one I'm doing now.
Yeah, tell me.
No kidding. So it depends on how you quantify it. So probably those product launches back in the day when I had affiliates like emailing my stuff, that would be the biggest number. But from a net perspective and from a replicability perspective, no good. What I'm doing now, which is the same play I was just telling you about, again, these stats are about 2 weeks old. Our first month, we spent 87 grand on it. We got 130 grand back in recurring revenue, and we got another
Recurring how often?
monthly. Yeah, 10 grand a month.
So you spend 87,000. Oh, and
got $130,000, but it is also
over a period of
monthly.
12 months.
No, we got 130,000
130,000
back
that month.
but it's going to keep coming every month. Yeah, so it's
130 or 10,000 a month.
130.
Oh, wow.
So 13 of the 10,000.
So 85 grand is going to turn into $1 million in a year.
Yeah, but we also got more sales from it as well. I picked up 4 private client members at 38 grand a piece. So whatever that math is, math is not an exact science when you're on camera.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good return.
yeah.
But the reason why I say it's the most successful campaign is because of the amount of goodwill it generated in the process, right? So it used that same strategy I was telling you about, and so now like. Dude, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people have seen the videos, but they're like, this guy's really cool. I like him. And even if they don't, because my stuff's expensive, you know, I don't sell like to beginners or anything. We're an agency. It's 10 grand a month just to retain us to do the creative and everything. But even the ones who aren't candidates for that, they genuinely benefited from it.
Sure.
They might be later.
That builds brand.
Yeah,
See, to me, that's where brand is different than advertising.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're advertising though to build the brand. So I'm paying. You know,
I understand.
So I spent 87 G's getting those videos in front of people.
Yeah.
Our biggest challenge right now is operations. We can't
deliver.
I can't spend not delivering one of the clients we have, but the ability to take more because I need more people. You know.
Yeah. Well, you need a big building.
I got one. Not as big as this one though.
Yeah.
Mine's only 5,000.
Guys, Frank Kern right here. Okay, look, the advertising. You guys, there's the old adage about if you think advertising costs money,
you're done.
Try not advertise.
See,
I think that was
costs money.
Yeah, but even bad advertising, like we run a CNBC ad on radio. That's when you asked me, have you ever paid for TV? And I was like, CNBC, but it's a radio ad.
I remember rewriting your copy for you, just messing around.
Hey, we got rid of that copy.
But dude, we tripled what was working.
Yeah,
we tripled your old one.
So we run that CNBC ad, and when we ran it, when I was told what the budget was, I said, look.
Free, by the way.
I said, hey guys,
don't take any money from me. You know why I don't take your money? Because I know you're going to be a pain in the ass. You'll do like 9% of what I want you to do. I know you can.
I'm not going to have you back for saying that shit. Okay. Yeah. So what we did, what we did with this. Yeah, a lot of people say I'm terrible. What we did with that ad was like somebody said, how do you make sense of the ad? I said, well, first of all, every car dealer in America listens to CNBC, and we have a product for those dealers. So it was our first product, right? So I knew that by advertising, it wasn't to car dealers. It was just like, hey, Grant Cardone, written, That's the branding thing. I'm just sitting there reminding those car dealers in Macon, Georgia, that never bought anything from me about Grant Cardone, knowing that they at some point in the future would spend money with me and it would pay for the ad and introduce me to the rest of the marketplace.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
There's a I always get the damn saying wrong. It's a rising tide rises all ships.
Yeah, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Lifts all ships.
Yeah.
Because double rises is what I did.
Yeah.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
I forget the damn thing. Yeah. But that's the case.
Self-deprecating Frank Kern. Okay, look.
Much better looking than Grant.
Humble.
I think we should get a
humble.
A poll on Instagram right now.
Yeah. Who's better looking?
It's me.
It's
definitely me.
Who's young? Who's in better shape?
It's you.
Okay.
I thought you were 50 years old.
Yeah.
You're really 60 years old.
Yeah.
I'm so offended.
Frank Kern, phantom owner. He's got 2 big cars, okay? Rancho Santa Fe, big palatial house.
Oh, don't tell people
This
where I
dude
stay.
is a freaking, okay? Check him out. He's a power player for sure. Marketing, advertising, branding. The guy's a genius in the space. And I really appreciate you being here today and being so generous with your time and your intelligence. If you know somebody, maybe it's you, if you know somebody that knows something that put them into a position of power, I want them sitting in the chair that Frank Kern's sitting in, okay? Thanks for watching Power Players.
Automatons, or artificial beings capable of independent thought, have been a fixture of science fiction, literature, and motion pictures throughout time.
Today, the convergence of technology and imagination has reached new heights, which are reflected in the advancements that we see in every area of our lives. Over the last couple of years, AI machines have made their way into our homes, the battlefield, our workplace, and even into our hands in the form of smartphones with voice recognition. Digital assistants for the home represent an opportunity if you know how to take advantage of them. That is where Nico's Computer Engineering comes in. Tim Clark brings you the latest news about the most up-to-date strategies to position yourself in the digital landscape, finding a path to productive business applications and how to automate them with artificial intelligence are just a few of the topics we cover in our weekly segments.
Nico's Computer Engineering is here to find a unique solution for you.
The reality is that if you haven't walked in those boots, you really don't know what it's all about. You don't know what it's like to be homeless. You don't know what it's like to be alone. One day, you're in an organization where your brother is covering your back, and the next day, you have no idea what you're going to do next. You don't have a plan for your life. Your family doesn't understand you. Friends, relatives, nobody. Well, there are answers. We have a plan and a system to get you where you want to go in life. We have a group of people that care about your situation to help you in every area of your life and to make you the best person you were designed to be. To learn more, go to facebook.com/lyman.dev.grp.
Growing your future, protecting your past. J.D. Frost & Company, PLLC, is a public accounting firm, offers a variety of assurance and tax services to businesses and individuals in the Chattanooga and surrounding areas. We focus on construction and manufacturing industries. Our primary objective is client satisfaction through excellent customer service. Work with the best. We are accredited by the BBB. This is J.D. Frost & Company for a full suite of tax assurance and management accounting services. Visit us right now at frostcpas.com. Marco Santarelli of Narada Real Estate is the foremost expert in getting your money to work for you. At Narada, most people do not have the time to invest or do the work it takes to grow their wealth. Marco and his team will handle it. Working in 16 markets nationwide, Marco and his team will help set up a strategy to take you through step-by-step how to invest your money the right way and get you earning 8% returns from day one. If you need financing, we have it handled. The inspection for your property, if you need titles done, we have it handled. This is a one-stop shop to get you involved in the real estate game. Narada Real Estate and Marco Santarelli will ensure that you have what you need to start investing the right way. To learn more, visit naradarealestate.com. That's naradarealestate.com.
The more comfortable you get with yourself, the less scary it is for people to actually see you.
We all know as parents that there's nothing more powerful than a mother's love. And how can I be that extraordinary parent for my kids?
And how kind we are to each other.
The more that you love you, the less you care if others love you.
The idea is to really just choose to be with yourself. The challenges and the struggles and the frustrations and the self-doubt and insecurities can often keep us from living. We can master our lives from the inside out.
Want to learn how to invest in real estate like Grant Cardone, but you don't have the cash to invest yet? Reach out to Chris Root and his team where he will show you how to invest in real estate to build cash without credit or much money by learning how to wholesale real estate. We'll show you the right way to build cash so you can invest in multifamily apartments and other real estate investments like Grant Cardone. Reach out to @ChrisRude Entrepreneur on Facebook now.
This will be our third fund. It's a $40 million fund. So we're giving people a chance now to say, hey, I want to be involved in big, giant real estate deals that pay money. These are deals that are doing anywhere from 160 to 200% returns. You put $1 million into a deal and you're coming out with $2 to $3 million, but it's going to take 10 years. This is not get rich quick, okay? If you're taking notes, write this down. Don't do the get rich quick, man. Go for the get rich for sure. I don't need to get rich quick. I want to get rich for sure. So I'm going to go from 4,000 units. How many do you think I should go to? I'm going to go to 40,000 units. This is what I'm going to do, and this is why I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to 40,000 units, and I'm going to get the whole world involved in it. You're either going to invest with me, or you're going to actually help me raise these funds. Okay, so when you see me on social media talking about other stuff, anything that you see me talking about, what I'm doing is building an audience so I can allow people to get in a vehicle to where everybody gets rich. Because let me tell you something, if you want to make happy customers for life, make them money. You want me to mentor you? You want me to show you how to become a millionaire? Look in my eyes. I'll show you exactly what I did. I'm going to show you step by step exactly how I became a millionaire, where I started, how I started from zero, how I handled debt. This is definitely not about get rich quick. I don't believe in get rich quick. So I'll see you guys at the webinar, all right?